We're about to start. You want to put your food away or you? Okay. All right. Hi, everybody. This is Deandra, known as McDeedus on Twitter. I have this guy who is...
How you doing? I'm Narado, Rod for short. I'm known as Rod for short on Twitter. I got chicken fingers.
He has chicken fingers. We're at a spot I'm sure most of y'all are familiar with. I think he's enjoying those chicken fingers. So, we shall get started. Question number 1, Narado. Do your tweets show a similar reflection of who you are?
Absolutely.
So you're the same on and off Twitter?
I am the same on and off Twitter. People who know me would probably learn I'm more reserved in person, slightly maybe. Usually on Twitter it's more high octane on Twitter than it is in person. As you know from the conversation we were having off camera, it wasn't as intense as I usually am on Twitter. But
it was interesting to say the least. Number 2, what is sacred to you?
My relationship with God, my faith, my family, the truth, and reality.
Okay.
And my peace of mind is probably what's most sacred to me.
Number 3, why can't men cheat?
Men can't cheat because they were built to fuck these hoes, and all they do is fuck these hoes. Me saying men can't cheat is mostly about man's relationship to sex. It isn't emotional. Yeah, for a man, sex doesn't really have anything to do with emotional connection. And with the downgrade of women being more readily available for just sex, it breeds a situation where men are just used to having sex and nothing else. And it's real hard and kind of backwards for you to expect that if you get with a man who has spent his entire life not equating sex with emotional connection and who is used to having a lot of sex with a lot of different women, you'd be retarded to think that you saying you're his girlfriend is just going to make him stop doing that overnight. It's kind of like when they tell you that fried chicken is unhealthy, you don't just stop. You don't be like, oh, well, fuck it, I can clog my arteries, and you just never eat fried chicken again. It's a gradual process. And it's kind of hard to fight that nature for men. Usually if you can get a man that hasn't had sex with a lot of different women, he lame as fuck, and you'll probably end up cheating on him. So you just kind of gotta take the good with the bad, so to speak. It's not really that bad, but the fact of the matter is, men are supposed to have sex with a lot of women. It's in their nature. They've been doing it since the dawn of man. That's how God made them. And for you to just think that you saying you're my man can change from Adam all the way to this nigga you with now is completely ass backwards and just unattainable. Especially if you're not going to be a different kind of chick. The only way to keep a man from having sex with other women is for you to not create situations that breed the desire for him to not be at home with you. Because men have a lot of sex mostly just because of the circumstances. You're not really looking to have sex. But your girl forced you out of the house. She basically forces you into a situation where you out kicking it. And when you out kicking it, you fuck some hoes.
So the lack of monogamy is solely based on what the woman does?
Pretty much. Your man don't want to just have sex with you. You got to figure out what you're doing that makes him not want to be at home with you. Because if a man loves you a lot, that doesn't mean he can't have sex with other women. But if you're the type of woman that makes him respect you in a certain way and makes him take everything about you, it's too much for him to lose and too much for him to hurt in the most minuscule of ways, he'll do everything he can to not ever touch another woman. No matter what you may slip up and do, that forces him to not want to be there. Because a lot of men sleep with other chicks just because you at home bitching, and some chick trying to give him some pussy, and he might take it just because he's like, you know, I could be at home getting bitched out about nothing right now, but instead I'm over here with you and you chilling, and all you want to do is suck some dick. You deserve to suck some dick. At that point, it ain't even about him. It's just about, it goes back to what I said about how you get a man to be faithful. At that point, it's about him wanting to reward her for not tripping instead of him thinking, I'm going to cheat on my girl and let this girl suck my dick. He's thinking, this girl deserves to suck some dick because my girl is at the house talking to me about fucking socks on the floor. And this girl is talking about, do you want another beer and can I suck your dick? She deserves to suck my dick way more than my woman does.
So you allow her that privilege.
So you just allow her that privilege.
Number 4. Who do you trust?
I trust Jesus.
Is that it?
I trust God. I trust the Holy Spirit. I trust me. And at that point, it's subjective.
And that's for everybody?
For every single person on this earth. I trust people, but not
to do what they're going to do?
Pretty much.
All right, number 5. Hoes be winning.
Hoes be losing.
How is hoes be losing? It honestly appears that, hoes be winning.
It appears hoes be winning if you care about the wrong shit.
Okay.
Hoes are like Scarface. Niggas think Scarface was winning because he was rich. But if you look at the things that matters, Scarface is the biggest loser of all fucking time. Had a heavy drug problem. He backstabbed and connived his way into millions. And he lost all those millions and his life because of all those ways. It wasn't worth it. And that's how it is with hoes winning. Chicks say hoes is winning because they getting expensive cars and expensive gifts and shit like that. But they're not saying that because somebody cares and loves those people. And that's what matters. So if you think hoes is winning, then you just a piece of shit hoe that's worried about the wrong shit.
So you cannot turn a hoe into a housewife.
You can turn a hoe into a housewife if she done hoeing. Pretty much.
How you know she's done hoeing?
Damn near every chick on this earth is a hoe in some shape, form, or fashion. You just have to break it down to the fact that if you do hoe shit, then you can be described as a hoe. It doesn't matter if you're purposely seeking out to do it. It's like all hoes aren't sluts, but all sluts is hoes. And the difference is the difference between whether you're stealing to feed your family or you're stealing because you're just a roguish piece of shit. You're both thieves. And that's just what it all boils down to.
So it's the motivation?
It's not the motivation, it's the actions. Stealing makes you a thief.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what the nobility is. You do some hoe shit, you're a hoe. Ain't an excuse you can give that changes what it is. You're a hoe. If I steal from you because I'm dying, I'm a thief. Doesn't matter why I stole. I stole. That's all that matters. So if you do some hoe shit, you're a hoe. It's not a judgment call. It's a fact. And that's what most women get confused. A lot of chicks think they aren't hoes because they have all these excuses that are plausible. It's just like, I wasn't doing this for the purpose of slutting it up. It's just like, it don't really matter. It's good that you kind of fail your way in the horn. But the fact of the matter is you're a hoe.
You fail your way into hoe?
A lot of chicks just fall in the horn by accident.
It kind of happens.
It does.
Okay.
You're not trying to be a hoe.
Nobody's trying to be a hoe.
But you're a hoe.
But you are.
That's all that matters. You just got to call that shit like, you got to call a spade a spade. Don't matter if that motherfucker is wild ass too. It's count as the joke is the joke.
I got you. Number 6. You frequently use that F word that gay people don't like.
Faggot.
That one. Men would call you homophobic. Are you homophobic?
I say nigga a lot. Does that mean I'm a racist?
I don't think so.
not homophobic at all. No gay person that I'm friends with or close to has ever heard me use that term in terms of homosexuality. I say it a lot on Twitter, but in no instance have I ever used faggot to describe a gay dude. I use it to describe bitch ass niggas.
So your
Just acting
definition
like girls.
is different than what people perceive it to be.
Exactly. It's all in how you use it. There are gay people that follow me who never had anything to say about me saying faggot. So that lets me know that it doesn't matter if somebody else sees me as homophobic. There are homosexuals out there who don't think I'm homophobic, who know it. It sounds like a cliche, but I've got plenty of gay friends. I don't have a problem with gay people. I've championed gay rights in the past. I've championed gay rights on my Twitter. One time I said that if you leak a girl's nudes, you a faggot. And a nigga whose screen name on Twitter is the LGBT homeboy retweeted it and said he's right. And so if he ain't got a problem with me saying faggot, give a fuck what nobody else got to say about me saying faggot. It's all in your context.
Alright. Number 7. Is the amount of time a woman takes to have sex with you a determining factor in whether you will pursue a relationship with her?
Absolutely. It matters a lot.
Okay. On which end of the spectrum? Too soon, too late? Is there a too late? Is there
That's not a
soon?
too late, there is a too soon.
Okay.
And that also depends on your motives. And depending on the amount of what kind of relationship y'all have built. If I fucked you on the first date, and I talked to you like twice before that date, then there's something wrong with that. That doesn't look good. It's all about the time.
Okay.
Like if I sleep with you within 2 weeks, but I spent every day of those 2 weeks with you beforehand, then that's kind of the same as us having talked for 2 months. It's all about the quality and the quantity of time and the connection y'all have established to each other. But if I ain't talked to you but one time in fucking 2 weeks and then we fuck when we first see each other, that's some classic hoe shit. That's slutty. Because you don't know me. And I ain't naive enough to think that makes it something special about me. Like, oh, I fucked you, I ain't never done this before. Bullshit, you hoe. You do this shit all the time.
It's so harsh.
It's just the truth. But like I said, if we've talked, if we spent a month's worth of time together in 2 weeks, then it's understandable that we have sex in 2 weeks. But if we spent a day or two's worth of time together in 2 weeks and we fuck, then there's something wrong.
Okay. Number 8. When your time on earth is done, what would you most like to have accomplished?
God's will.
Do you know what that is for you?
I just do what he tells me to do.
Okay. Number 9. We kind of touched on this, but is the expectation of monogamy unrealistic when dating?
In the beginning it is.
What's the beginning?
When you first start dating something. It's like I said, dudes is fucking. And you have to realize that, like I said, men don't equate. Their feelings have nothing to do with sex. Niggas have sex with a lot of chicks that they can't stand. Or don't really even like talking to. But you just like fucking, so you do it. So, if you get a guy who had sex with, 5 women in the past 2 months, and then y'all start talking, he's been having sex like twice a week before y'all start talking. There's no reason for him to stop having that twice a week sex with whoever he's fucking just because y'all have started talking. You might be like her and just be another chick to start fucking. So, dudes don't cut chicks off until they found somebody that makes them more than all the rest of that bullshit. So if you think that a man is, because like a lot of times for some reason chicks think that like you are theirs once y'all exchange phone numbers. It's like nobody else can get your number. You can't text nobody else. You can't call nobody else. You can't go out with nobody else. And the shit's just not the case. That's not how niggas operate.
So when are you hers?
I'm hers when I tell her I'm hers.
So you make that sole decision?
She can't make decisions for me.
Right.
And even then, You have to lower her expectations to reality, because chicks are wild, outlandish with their hopes and dreams, and they think he's nice. I'm gonna marry him, and our relationship gonna be perfect, and he thinking she's cool. Let me call this other bitch and see what she doing tonight. Like it means nothing, because he knows it can go nowhere. She might turn out to be nothing. She might be the most annoying girl he's ever met, and in 2 weeks he might not ever want to see her again because of who she is. But chicks don't think like that. They think he's nice, then all they thinking is it's just going to get better. And niggas is like, she cool, I'm still fuck her homegirl like I've been doing. And if she cool enough, I'll stop fucking that bitch, because I just want to talk to her.
Number 2. What is your biggest fear?
Displeasing God. I don't have any other fears that are earthly. I've lived through some of the worst shit anybody could ever experience, so I made it through that. So I ain't got no fears. Other than that, you know what? My biggest fear is going bald.
Really?
I know it seems trivial, but that goes back to all the stuff I've lived through. But the one thing I am afraid of is going bald.
I feel like you're doing pretty good right now.
I am doing good, and none of the men in my family went bald.
But it's like your dad's, it's like your mom's dad or your dad's mom or something like that.
My grandpop still got a full head of hair on both sides of the spectrum. My dad, my uncles, everybody still has hair. But I see bald niggas, and I'm just so scared. Because this nigga's, 10 years younger than me with their hairline in the middle of their head. Rocking hats, all, to sleep and shit.
Sorry guys, if you are experiencing premature balding, I apologize on behalf of
my nigga. I don't apologize. I feel for you.
You do get fixed when you get older, so just go with that.
Let that shit go, my nigga. Shade that shit. You look a goddamn fool.
Twitter 10, Rob for short.
My big fear with baldness. You ever see a nigga? You ever see a nigga still holding on? He in the barbershop getting his edge up back on the crown.